celebrations came together in the last day of Kwanzaa. Liberation in terms of Emancipation Proclamation and faith with regards to the Kwanzaa program. Kwanzaa is growing and is getting stronger. At this point, we estimate that more than 20 million people of African descent celebrate Kwanzaa. Not only in this country, but in foreign countries as well. Because when Kwanzaa was in its infancy, a lot of African students were here at various universities. They learned about Kwanzaa, so they took it back to Nairobi, Kenya, took it back to Lagos, Nigeria. Some they celebrated in Jamaica and Trinidad and Brazil. So it's an international holiday for people of African descent around the world.
The founder, as a matter of fact, the founder of Kwanzaa was in Nashville quite recently during this last recent period.
Oh yes, he was brought in by the Nashville Pride, and for many years, the Kwanzaa movement in this city started in 1984. And for many years, we always wanted to bring the founder of Kwanzaa to this city during the days of Kwanzaa. And the Nashville Pride was able to accomplish that. And I was quite honored to have been selected to introduce him at that particular program. McCring is a good friend of mine, and he's a very powerful brother, very powerful brother.
Now, I think, Doctor, from your perspective, in about the last 7 minutes that we have, what are some of the things that, in terms of dealing with the African Studies Department, that you'd like for our audience to know about that department and some of the things that you're doing and how they might be able to help you in whatever the tasks that you've already set out?
Well, first of all, I want to go back and resound the initial announcement, which is that we will have our grand opening April 7th and 8th of this year, 1985, at Tennessee State University. And I would like for people to come out throughout the city, throughout the state, throughout the nation to be a part of this grand opening. Our thrust in Africana Studies is to provide our students with a core curriculum that will connect them or reconnect them with knowledge of self and kind. Help them to deal with who they are, help them to understand the concept of the African traditional extended family, and also help them to become more loyal and committed to doing something about the problems that we have in our community, problems of unemployment, problems of ignorance, problems of poverty. And so we want trying to develop that type of student. In the department, we offer 3 African language. We offer Kiswahili, Yoruba, and Arabic. Arabic is spoken widely in North Africa. Kiswahili, East Africa, and Yoruba is spoken primarily in Nigeria, but also some other parts of West Africa. We have in place in the department an internship. And at this point, at this very moment, we're working out arrangements with the Underground Railroad. They have a community-based educational institution called the Sankora Academy. We're also working with the Urban League, Brother John Fair. We're trying to work out internships there. So we want to be able to provide our students with a quality academic experience as well as a quality community experience. The guiding motto of Africana Studies is take the campus to the community and bring the community to the campus. The community represents the practical knowledge. The campus represents the academic knowledge. So we have to wed academics with practicality, wed theory with practice. So we want to make sure that what they are learning in the classroom makes sense out in the community. And at the same time, we're very job conscious. We want to make sure that once our students get a degree, that after 4 years they can be put into the labor force, either in terms of being college professors, working in the public school system or the school system from K through 12. Some of our students are very ambitious and have decided to have a double major. Right now we have a young man who might be our first graduate who currently has a major in mechanical engineering, and he also wants to get a major in Africana Studies. So he's about 18 hours from having a double major. So what we're trying to do, too, is to have them to take our liberal arts curriculum in Africana Studies, but at the same time acquire some practical skills so they can do something about the problems in the community other than protesting and then voting for politicians that don't do anything for them once they get in office.
You know, I think it's quite interesting that most of it seems that you're talking about self-help.
Self-help, self-reliance.
Let's talk about that over the last few minutes that we have, because that seems to be a theme that sort of runs through the African-American experience in the United States. Let's talk about that from your perspective.
The self-determination is a natural law fact, if you look at the protocols of the United Nations, that's all they talk about, the self-determination of a population of people. And then when the human rights and the civil rights of a people in countries such as Bosnia or violated, or Somalia, it's based on that principle of self-determination. Nature has given us a principle called self-preservation, which is self-determination. So every organism, every part of the creation has a right to self-determination. We too have a right to self-determination. And the only way that we can have a sense of self-determination and historical purpose and mission is we've got to reconnect with that culture. Once we connect with the culture, then we will know the pattern of our self-determining aspect. So what we're trying to do now is to wed culture with economic development, because we have needs for food, clothing, shelter in our community, and we need to be able to make our dollar turn over more than once. Right now, we get paid on Friday, and by sunset, the money is in another community. But if we develop institutions in our own community so that money will have a multiplier effect, then we can rid the community of poverty and unemployment. So being self-determining, being responsible for our food, clothing, shelter, and transportation, and all the things that impact our lives in terms of necessity of life, that's only intelligent. That's what a civilized group of people would do. Every population of people on this earth have based their culture and their very existence on self-determination. And we too need to learn the principle of self-determination. That's the first law. And then couple that with the principle of unity. So we have unity and self-determination. We can solve our problem in 3 generations.
You know, I think, Doctor, over the last couple of minutes that we have here, I think that Tennessee State University is in an excellent situation in terms of dealing with some of the problems in the North Nashville area. I think we've all indicated that there's some real economic problems along the Jefferson Street corridor. What do you see in terms of trying to bring about more unity and better economic cooperation over the last couple of minutes?
Well, if we can bring people in contact with their culture, you can bring them in contact with their humanity. And once they are in contact with their humanity, the self-esteem and the self-confidence will come. And then when they look at a problem, they see that the problem has the solution within it, as opposed to being traumatized by the problem. And we feel that Tennessee State can be that type of influence, providing the culture, providing the academic training, providing an environment where people can come and learn and see people being responsible. We can provide the role models. We can provide the technology. So all the things that the North Nashville community need for growth and development, Tennessee State University can provide it. Whether they need development in areas of engineering or development areas of medicine, development areas of liberal arts, anywhere knowledge is needed, we are the storehouse of knowledge. We want to be that university for Nashville. We want to be the university for North Nashville. We want to be Nashville's university, a comprehensive urban land-grant university. And we want to assume full responsibility. We want to provide expertise for the politicians when they're trying to solve problems. We want to provide expertise for the medical community when they're trying to solve problems. We want to provide expertise to the community-based organizations when they're trying to solve problems.
Very good. And let me thank you, Doctor, for coming by and giving us that excellent information about the Africana Studies Department at Tennessee State University. And I'm sure that the beginning of the African American History Month will be very, very informative in terms of what is to come. And let me thank you very, very much. And let me encourage you to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.